What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel. Before we get into this next video, I'd like to make a special announcement. In April 2025, I will be launching a new Patreon. That's right. We can do things over there that we can't do on them folks' platform. So if you've been a supporter here, you've been a subscriber here, you've rocked out with me here, I expect to see you over yonder at the Storefront Church. We opening up in April. We're gonna have a whole lot going on there that we can't do here. For example, we'll be able to chat directly over there in our private chat rooms on Patreon. We can talk about things that we couldn't talk about here on them folks' platform. We can have private conversations. We can have public conversations. I want to be more available to the people who really rock out with me. To that end, not only will I put exclusive videos over there that won't be available on YouTube, but we'll also have exclusive live streams, y'all. That's right. I'm gonna go live more often in the Patreon. So if you've rocked out with me here, if you felt what I've been doing here, if you're picking up what I'm putting down over here on them folks' platform, well, it's gonna be greater over there. So I hope you rock with me. As the old folks say, we can go another further over there. So don't meet me there, beat me there. I'll leave a link in the description. Y'all go sign up. Ain't no charge for nothing right now. I'm just collecting information and emails and getting everything set up for April 2025. Y'all meet me on Patreon. And now let's get to the video.
Nell had only been on the job for 6 months. She says she was twerking to celebrate the end of her probationary period.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, if you follow me for some time on this platform, you know that one thing that irks me to no end, maybe the thing that irks me the most, is brothers who walk around, grown men who walk around with their pants sagging below their buttocks. But a close second to that is women who get out here and in a ghetto fashion shake their tail feathers, their gluteus maximus, in front of cameras. For what purpose? I'm not quite sure, but a simple Google search will inform you that dances of this nature, y'all call it twerking? Dances of this nature had their origins on the continent of Africa. But there's one major difference. On the continent of Africa, these dances were, for the most part, ceremonial. They had purpose. And when you look at the modern iteration of these dances here in America, you see that there's not really a ceremonial purpose at all. I've even looked, y'all, in my exploration, looked to National Geographic and the Wild Kingdom and said, hey, there are other species of animals and insects who do this type of thing, but they also have a purpose. Typically, it's a mating call. When you shake your tail feathers and wave yourself around in that type of fashion, it is to get the attention of the male species for the purpose of procreation. Well, that ain't what they talking about these days, because if you look in the hood where they twerk the most, where they do the most on social media in this way, well, you got the highest or near the highest rates of abortion. So you ain't trying to procreate nothing. What are you really doing? What is your purpose? Well, y'all, we got this woman here with an Asian phenotype out here working a good job with a good airline with benefits and everything, set out on a career to make a pathway of success in her life. And she got to her 6-month probationary period and she said, hey, I made it. They can't fire me now. So let me show my true self. And she made a twerk video in her work uniform on a plane. Yeah, that's right. This flight attendant, who you would think would have more sense than that, because all y'all in Trump's America tell us that the Asians are the smartest and they got all the seats at the best universities. They even suing to get the white folks out the way. So here go the Asian antics. With this chick call herself a ghetto B. That's right, B-I-H. I'm a little old for that vernacular, but y'all look it up. You'll understand what it means. But it seems like she's denigrating herself. Seems like she's lowering herself to a certain standard that she is comfortable with, because this job she got, because y'all thought she was cute enough. Y'all thought she was fit enough. Y'all thought she was intelligent enough. Y'all gave her the job only to find out after 6 months that she had been holding in her twerk all that time. It had been fighting to get out, and she had been resisting because she knew she was on probation. And she got to a point when that 6-month anniversary hit, she couldn't hold it no more. She couldn't just dance on her own and feel good about grooving in the plane and saying, "Thank you, Lord, I made it." No. She had to record a little something for y'all to enjoy, shaking her tail feathers.
She made headlines as the twerking flight attendant who lost her job after this video went viral. Now she's speaking out in an interview with our Amber Cogliano.
She's the flight attendant whose twerking cost her dream job.
I didn't think that, being so happy can turn into something like this.
Nell Diallo was having a great time dancing and twerking in the aisle on an empty plane before an early morning flight.
I decided to just take advantage of the moment to wake myself up and kind of get myself hyped up for my day, basically.
She posted the video on TikTok along with the caption, "What's wrong with a little twerk before work?" But after the video went viral, she says Alaska Airlines fired her.
What did they say to you?
They just said that I broke their social media policy.
Nell had only been on the job for 6 months. She says she was twerking to celebrate the end of her probationary period.
Why did you decide to post the video?
And I was really proud of myself that I came so far. I just didn't think that my video and my post and the way I was dancing would be deemed as inappropriate.
So how did you feel in that meeting when they told you you lost your job?
I put on such a proud face every time I stepped on that plane. And for them to terminate me without giving me a chance, it just was unfair.
A representative from Alaska Airlines tells us they don't comment on personnel matters.
Did you hear what she said, y'all? She said she was so proud of herself. Well, that's an interesting way to display your self-pride. It says more about your self-awareness and lack thereof. Because you put yourself out there in a way that was unbecoming to the brand, unbecoming to the company, unbecoming to the airline, and you thought that was okay. Maybe they thought because of your phenotype that you were smarter than you actually are, because you connect yourself and your self-image to a ghetto mentality that I have stated many times prior to this video that has infiltrated the Black community and has us going the wrong direction, has us majoring in minors and minoring in majors, to where we think that activity like this is okay. And because the Blackity Blacks are the kings and queens of culture, y'all influence other folks from other cultures to tap into what you got going on. And this little young lady here says, "I want to be like y'all. I want to do like y'all. I want to dance like y'all in celebration, because when I see y'all, it look like y'all celebrating." Well, when I see y'all, I think you ain't got much to celebrate about, especially in this way, where you're twerking around, fanning your tail feathers, where you're wearing your breeches below your buttocks. What is it about this degenerative activity in our society that has captivated some other folks in the world, some other cultures, where they say, "Hey, I want to be like y'all. Y'all make it look fun to be broke. Y'all make it look fun to be uneducated. Y'all make it look fun to have 5 different kids by 5 different baby daddies." Well, I think I want to be like y'all, because y'all are the kings and queens of culture. You know what? Y'all also the kings and queens of unemployment. You're also the kings and queens of abortion. You're also the kings and queens of arrest records, kings and queens of felonies. But they don't want that part. They just want to be able to dance like y'all. That's enough. I just want a little taint of what you got. I don't want it all, because so much of that over there, I even think is detrimental. Yeah, I'll shake my thing, but I don't want to be down with y'all. It's a little something about what you got going on over there that I'll take, that I will personalize. And I'll use it as a form of celebration even in my work uniform. Well, young sis, you ain't the first one. There's plenty of these blackity blacks dancing around who've had the same experience. You just didn't follow through with the story to understand that because you watching Instagram, watching social media where everything is fun and games. Well, it's all fun and games till you get fired. There's plenty of blackity blacks that got fired for the same thing you got fired for. Don't feel good, does it? You had a blackity black experience. Congratulations. Y'all, she set up a GoFundMe because she was feeling down and out and thinking that because she shook her tail feathers in your face, maybe she could get a couple simps to bust out the checkbook and swipe the credit card and get her right. It didn't work out the way she thought. But I came across this story covering this, and this chick named Nell Diala and her GoFundMe antics says, quote, "I never thought a single moment would cost me everything." Hey, I had a conversation with a young man the other day and I said, hey, bro, we were talking about a serious topic about cats being locked up and losing their freedom. I said, man, look, you young, I'm old, but we both in the same boat in one aspect. We both just one mistake away from losing our freedom. Yeah, we cherish freedom and we wave the flag in this country, but we know, bro, you one bad decision away from losing it all. This chick says, well, I never thought that a single moment would take everything away from me. Well, you've had some bad instruction and some bad training and some bad conditioning and some bad socialization because it seemed like nobody ever told you that. I say it all the time. You one mistake away. Be very careful every day of your life. Story reads, this is how former Alaska Airlines employee Nell Diala began the GoFundMe fundraiser she created after allegedly being fired for posting a dance TikTok while on the job. Now, we all know that TikTok is of the devil. We all know that TikTok is of the CCP. We all know that TikTok promotes bad behaviors in America that it does not promote in China. But we hoping that Donald Trump is going to do something about that and TikTok will be a better platform in the future. But as for now, TikTok getting folks fired because they falling for the okie doke and doing dumb things like this. Story continues. On November 17, 2024, the then flight attendant posted a TikTok in which she danced and, in her own words, twerked in the aisles of an empty airplane. Ghetto B till I die, she said. Ooh. Wow, that's how she captioned her own video. In her work uniform. Well, I would expect you to have the same results if you were in a fast food uniform, if you were in a janitorial uniform. I don't care what your job is. When you got a uniform on that represents a brand, if you are not following policy and you are bringing ghetto antics and heaping your mess onto that brand like that, I would expect anybody to meet the same fate. Story continues. Diala filmed a lighthearted 15-second clip over 6 months into her dream job with the airline during a layover, she explained on GoFundMe. Quote, one day during a layover, I posted a lighthearted video on my personal social media account. It was a harmless clip that was recorded at 6 a.m. while waiting 2 hours for pilots. She then wrote in part, the video went viral overnight, but instead of love and support, it brought unexpected scrutiny. Although it was a poor decision on my behalf, I didn't think it would cost me my dream job. End quote. Well, ma'am, it's unfortunate that you have not matured enough to handle a job like this, a position like this, the responsibility on this level. You weren't ready. And it's unfortunate that they gave you the opportunity over somebody else that might have been ready and might have been prepared and might have been experienced. No, you handled it like an amateur. You handled it like you hadn't been there for 6 months. You waited for 6 months just to do this. Because I would assume being there 6 months would have taught you that this wasn't the way to celebrate. Have you learned nothing in 6 months, ma'am? Well, it's unfortunate, but I hope this video and others like it that have covered this story are a lesson to young folks. Work hard, educate yourself, be smart, and understand that ghetto antics that might be cool amongst your circle of friends might be inappropriate, might be unacceptable in professional environments. And at some point, if you desire to break away and be successful in life, well, you're going to have to let some people go. You're going to have to let some ideas go. You're going to have to let some dances go. Because you can't even go to somebody's wedding, somebody's professional function. You can't even go to the company party and dance like this. This is going to be problematic wherever you bust it out. Outside the hood, of course. But we assume that when you applied for this job, you was trying to get out the hood. And yet here you are on social media saying, I'm forever a ghetto bitch. Well, back to the hood you go. Back to the ghetto you go. Back to the streets you go. I hope you learned your lesson, but more than that, I hope that other people can learn from your lesson and be better because they saw you fall. Y'all let me know what you think about this foolishness. Don't nobody want your little tail feathers. Keep them to yourself until you are secure in a relationship and ready to share those tail feathers with the right person that will lead you onto a successful life and a successful family. Those are the things we advocate here, y'all. And those are the things we're going to be advocating on Patreon. So make sure y'all go over to the Patreon. I'll leave a link below. Click the link, meet me over there, join the Patreon. And don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time. Peace.